Make real estate real. What's up? What's up? Y'all come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Yeah. This is my first time going live on Facebook. And so y'all apologize. I think we like 4 minutes late. We didn't know that you have to go to Zoom and then link the Zoom call to Facebook. So, yep. So, but we on here. So, man, y'all come on in. Come on in. I got a special treat for y'all. Come on in. Yes. We're going to talk real estate. We're going to have real talk. Real talk. So I'm going to make real estate real. All my newbies too. Man, let me just say, man, this has been crazy. Just looking at the response of just how many people have signed up. And the thing about it, and I was talking to Mark earlier, and I was just like, man, people are hungry. You know, this whole pandemic, you know, and like I said, my heart goes out to anybody that lost a friend or a loved one. That's part of the group. And I've lost people that I've known, you know, but I will say, you know, just like when a leaf passes away on a tree, you know, another leaf comes, some new life starts. And right now, it's just new life being birthed. And it's just new ideas, it's new times. And it's crazy because we kind of talked about this with the course. You know, like the course hinted to about, you know, what will happen to you on your job. That was like the first part of the course. It talked about, you know, write down like, you know, the future cost. What's the current cost of you and what's the future cost of you? The reason why that we started with the current cost, it was to take care of, like, if anything happened to your family, you know, and of course we didn't know that COVID-19 would be here, but whether it's called COVID-19, whether it's called downsizing, whether it's called the company is shutting down, whether it's called you've been fired, they all got the different names, but they all got the same result. And so that's what this is about. It's about creating life security. And that's what Make Real Estate Real is all about. So, man, I'm so excited right now. I'm like jacked up. Tay told me not to get too excited because I got to do some more speaking engagements, and I just got through speaking, and I'm going to mess up and lose my voice. But, you know, and I told her I wasn't going to be as passionate, but y'all know me. This is just who I am. I'm just super excited, man. I've been in the hole. Oh, I've been in the hole, and I've been doing things like never before. I'm talking about, man, spending time with my family, you know, spending time, you know, working on my body, spending time working on my craft when it comes to real estate. I'm talking about I'm really studying the market right now. And so, man, I wanted to get all you guys on here, and I wanted to make this, you know, I've been going IG Live. I've been doing conferences and things like that. But I said, man, let me start talking more to my family, to the people who got the same mindset as me, the people that's got the same heart as me, the people that's got the same passion and the same drive as me, the people that's got the same dog, the Make Real Estate Real family. And so I said, man, I'm going to start bringing, going live with like each one of the different people, the different team members, the dream team, that was on the course that you guys been introduced to. I'm gonna start bringing them on here, and we're gonna start having real talk, and we're gonna talk and just, you know, talk about the current state of everything. And so, man, I just want to let y'all know, I can't see you guys, but I know y'all see me, and I can't even see the comments right now, but I just want to let everybody that's on here from Make Real Estate Real know that, man, I love y'all. Welcome to the family. And that's exactly what this is. This is a family, and we're all in this together. This generational wealth quest. That's what this is all about. And that's why we created this Facebook group, so that we could all be a community of investors together, not bringing everybody down like they do outside of this group, but building everybody up like we do inside of this group. I'm gonna say that again. We are a community that don't like tear people down or pull people down like most of the world doing. You know, we build each other up, and that's exactly what we've been doing. And I love it, man. I love seeing everybody come together. I love seeing everybody bounce ideas off each other. I love when new people join the group and we have people just show love, just instantly tell them, man, because everybody in the group remembers when they first accomplished it and they got that certificate, or they went through the course, and you remember just how excited you were. And so it's just great that everybody is just welcoming everybody, and you guys are answering questions, and I appreciate that, you know, because I probably answer, you know, and it's crazy because I don't even have to answer a lot of questions in the Make Real Estate Real Facebook group, because all of my people are answering the questions. And I'm on there, trust me, I'm on there and I'm looking and I'm like, man, great answer. You know, I'm looking at every answer you guys are giving and you guys are dead on with the answers while I'm answering all the other 70,000 questions that people are asking me that didn't take the course. You know, so man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all really helping me out, and you helping out the cause. And man, so I'm gonna just get right to it because I want to respect this man's time. He's so busy. I know he always counting money somewhere, so I want to make sure that, you know. So man, I am bringing to you guys today. I am bringing to you, and he don't need no introduction. I know all you guys seeing him, and you know exactly who he is. But I'm bringing to you guys my lender, my personal lender, my personal financier, my personal friend, Mark Buford, who's going to talk to you guys. You know, we're going to talk to you guys about the state of the union pretty much in real estate right now. You know, what's going on. So, man, Mark, go ahead, man. Introduce yourself for the people that don't know you and maybe skip through your part. And if they did, shame on them, you know. But now, man, go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
Thanks, Jamal. I appreciate it, man. It's good to connect again, even through this virtual computer set through Zoom. I miss you guys, man. That human contact is something I miss. So it's a great pleasure to connect again. I'm happy to be here because I've been seeing the questions. I've been getting the calls. And let me say this, I'm never too busy for the Make Real Estate Real family. I always say, shoot me a text, give me a call. We're going to talk through. But I'm happy to hop on today and kind of address the state of what's going on, let people know that I am your lending resource. I don't just work for one company. I'm a lending resource. I know the market. I know lending nationally. So I am your go-to guy. I know a lot of people are excited. They're antsy and they're moving around. They want to get those pre-approvals and get to the next project. So I'm happy to be on, and let's go through, you know, some questions, and hopefully we can set an expectation and still create the excitement that's there, that this is still real estate. That's going to be the theme, Jamal. It's still real estate regardless of the market condition.
I know, man. So let's just get right to it. So look, man, I need you because I'm gonna ask the questions, and trust me, I know a lot of the answers. So don't be like, Jamal, you already know. I'm asking the questions like I'm one of the people just completed Make Real Estate Real, or somebody that's, you know, part of the team. So like, what's like tell me, like, what's the current state of what's happening with hard money lending right now during COVID, like the pandemic?
So basically, institutional hard money lenders, COVID-19 has created some volatility in the market, basically created fear and uncertainty. So with that, institutional hard money lenders basically pull back and cut back on some of the limiting parameters. They want to mitigate risk. And so what I mean by an institutional hard money lender, it's a company that lends money. They have processes in place, they have systems, they have underwriting, and they actually sell to a secondary market, right? It's kind of similar to, for those who don't know, Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they provide a liquidity to the secondary market for first mortgages, like the people who buy homes who are going to own or occupy them, in addition to FHA. So the secondary market for hard money lenders, upon the pandemic, said, hey, we got to pull back. We don't know where this thing is going. And they basically buy the paper because hard money lenders originate loans to sell them to that secondary market. Mm-hmm. If there's no secondary market, there are no loans going to be originated, because not too many hard money lenders, there may be one or two out there that'll hold mortgages on their balance sheet. That's very risky. So they want to sell it to create liquidity in the company and keep going. So that's in a nutshell why lending has stopped, because the secondary market is not buying the paper. Now, there are still some lending going. There's some parameters out there. They're just not favorable to inexperienced borrowers. A lot of them Make Real Estate Real family. It's their first time. You know, that's a big part of the risk factors is experience. So, you know, you're looking at 20, 30% down. So in a nutshell, that's where lending is for hard money. And we'll go through some of the parameters. I'm sure you got some other questions for me as we continue.
Yeah, well, I mean, just even with that about the hard money. So is that so? All right. So before it was 10%, right?
Correct.
All right. So now you're saying, so mostly all hard money lenders. So, all right. So hard money lenders, you're saying right now is pretty much, they kind of on the sideline waiting, right? they're not really loaning money out right now in the market?
Well, they're lending to experienced borrowers who've
Experience.
done like yourself. Jamal,
Okay,
you won't
and
have a
what?
problem going in and getting a loan, but they're going to do it at
Uh,
20% down.
right,
Right, they're going to
right.
do it at 20% down, and they're collecting 12 months of escrow payments in escrow up front. So they are
Okay,
lending, but it's only to experienced folks. Now
okay.
we
So
have
let's talk.
something unique. We have something unique in Chicago just because of the Chicago market and some of the nuances of the foreclosure process. So Chicago sticks out because it takes about 2 years to get a property back in the event of default.
Okay.
So therefore, for inexperienced borrowers, lenders may not lend to a new person in Chicago because of that foreclosure process, but they may lend to them outside of Chicago area, in their home market at 20% down. Some lenders will.
So let's talk about. All right, so you said hard money lenders. All right. So tell me about like just a regular FHA loan lender.
Sure, yeah, and I'm sure you're going to have Natasha, and she's built out an incredible team for this year. FHA, I mentioned Fannie Mae, I mentioned Freddie Mac. They're still lending. You can talk to a real estate agent today, and they'll tell you that price points between up to about $400,000 are still moving. I just did a walkthrough today up north. Property was $650,000, and it sold after 2 weeks on the market. That's a jumbo loan, even non-conforming. So they had to put about 30% down to do that. But the point is, there's a market out there of buyers, of people who still have those essential jobs: policemen, firemen, teachers, and the market is still moving. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, for those make real estate real family members who might want a house hack, you can still get an FHA loan. And I did see a question about that FHA 203K. Someone said they're not lending on 203K. Well, no, that might be that particular lender who's not doing an FHA 203K. But speak to Natasha Robinson about guaranteed rate, because they're the best 203K lender in the country.
Yeah, and I think I saw that question too on the Make Real Estate Real. It was from Takima. And Takima was asking about that. And yeah, absolutely, Takima, you want to go through Natasha because they are. And that's the thing that I try to tell people: just because one bank isn't, or one lender isn't doing something, don't believe that another lender is not. So right now, interest rates, from what I was saying, what's the lowest interest rate that's out there?
Man, it's crazy. Now, I heard someone last week said they locked in a client at 2.75 for a 30-year fix on an FHA loan.
See, now the way, yep. So the way how I think as an investor, and I'm gonna just tell you guys, and I'm gonna just talk about just a little bit. Within the last, I want to say probably the last 7 months, I probably bought 8 properties. And I got 6 more contracts on properties, and I'm closing on 2 more, I think on Monday, if not on Friday. And so the thing about it is that with interest rates being this low at 2.75, that means that everybody right now is trying to buy properties to live in right now. So and everybody's trying to house hack. So yeah, you can house hack yourself, but also there's a market for selling properties to people that's looking to live inside of a property. So right now, I just had a property, and I promise you, I didn't even put it on the market yet. I bought this property for $100,000. I put $67,000 into it for the renovation. It really just needed cosmetic. It's a 3-unit building. And before I even put it on the market, we got a contract on this property for $300,000. And this is somebody's going to occupy, it's an owner-occupied loan. Somebody's going to live in 1 unit and rent out the other 2. And so it's a market for that right now. And so that's what I've been focusing on. So before that, though, I was focusing on, you remember how I taught you guys, have a purpose for every property you purchase. And you got to move with the market. To me, the market is almost like let's picture you being a surfboard. You're on a surfboard and you're in the ocean, and you got to catch that wave. And when you catch the wave, you got to ride that wave. And so for me right now, I'm noticing that interest rates are like at an all-time low. And you got a lot of people out here that want to live in properties. And so it's like, okay, I'm just letting them know, like, hey, not only can you buy this property fixed up, but also you can live in this property rent-free, because the other tenants in here are going to take care of your mortgage every single month. And there's a lot of city workers out here. These are the people that I'm advertising to right now, especially people that's been out here and they've been affected by COVID, or they saw how COVID-19 affected their jobs. And they're saying, man, I need to supplement my income. I need to make sure that I got a roof over my head. So why not? There's no better way than buying one of my properties that's already fixed up, and you can live in this building. And I'm making sure I'm setting the price at the right amount so that they can have the mortgage covered and they can live rent free. And so, man, there's a market out there for you guys, you know, in that. And so let's just go like Mark. So even what I just said right there, how would somebody, in your opinion, you know, because I know somebody on the other end probably saying, where would I get the financing? You're saying that I can't go to a hard money lender. How can I get the money to do exactly what Jemal just said?
Well, and that's key right now, Jemal. You made some great points, and make real estate real family. Real estate market always cycles. That's throughout the history of life. The market always cycles. And we used to talk about it, Jemal, at some of the sessions that we used to do, that we need a market cycle that one's coming. No one just predicted that it would be this medical pandemic, right?
Yeah.
That caused the market to cycle a little bit. So, but that doesn't mean you don't invest in real estate. So yeah, lending has been suspended, but we're going to go through some things that you can do while the market is still where it is. You're going to see prices go down a little bit, which is more favorable for yourself as an investor. Now, so no hard money. Well, I always say when I speak that the best source of capital is private capital. If you know a high net worth individual, if you know someone who has high salaries, who have a considerable amount of cash that they invest, they may be investing in the market right now. Well, and they pull their money out because of the uncertainty with COVID. Well, if you can show them where you can return maybe an 8 to 12% return on a rehab, you can. So check your sources, check your sphere of influence. Who can you go to source funds, give them a return on their capital, and you move on to your project? That's an excellent way to get a project funded. Another way, partnerships.
Okay, well, let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. I just want to make sure they catch that. Because that private fund, the thing about it is a lot of people, and I'm not even talking about like the circle of people I hang with now that got a lot of money, but even like I'm talking about like the blue collar workers that I know. A lot of them pulled their money out of the stock market because the stock market crashed. Real estate hasn't crashed. So a lot of people pull money out. They're looking for places to put their money to. They're looking to get that kind of return that you can bring them. Man, the thing about it is you have the information. And that's the thing they're looking for. They're looking for somebody that has the knowledge, the experience, of the information. And what you went through, what you guys, everybody went through this course, gave you over 20 years of real estate experience, probably even more than that. But it's giving you the knowledge that you need to pretty much package up this proposal like, hey, you got the capital that I need. I got the knowledge. I got the team, not even just the knowledge. You let these people know I got the team in place. And that's all people want to see, is that you can make good on their money. So, man, so for you guys at home, you know, start writing down maybe individuals that you figure in your mind, like, man, this person here, man, and you'll be amazed. You should just start talking to, don't look for the people that's got a lot of money or you think got a lot of money. Talk to just about everybody, even some family members. They might have a 401k or something like that they want to now start investing and putting it somewhere. So as long as you, though, have the knowledge, you have the team, those are the things that's important. And, you know, that gives you pretty much the experience that you'll need to make good on these people's money. So, man, that's just another option for you guys right now.
Well, and what they need to know with that, Jemal, is you're the investor, you're the professional. Mm-hmm. You got the knowledge. You have to put this on paper and present it in a proposal format where they can see exactly where the money's going and how they're going to get it back, right? You're secured by having the team here in Chicago that'll get you through a project, and you need to be able to articulate that through a proposal. So while you're in the 14th hole right now during this pandemic, you know, get your skills up on writing a proposal on how you could go out, attract capital, and then get it back.
Yep. So what else? What's some other ways they can get the funding, man?
So I was just about to say, you know, I see comments all the time, and I think there are a few people in the group that are talking amongst themselves. But we have over 2,000 people in this group. And what I'm most impressed by, I see average credit scores north of 700. And wow. I see net worths, you know, 6 figures. So there are people with capital in the group. There are people with credit in the group. You guys need to network amongst yourselves, come together and explore the possibility of a JV partnership to go to the market and finance your own project, because you have the capacity to do that. Now,
That's
you want to make
fire.
sure you have all the legal framework in order, and we have the attorneys there to do that, because you'll be responsible for it.
Hey, you know what I love about that idea? The thing I love about it is that, you know, when I first got started in real estate, or even when I've been in real estate, I see so many JV deals taking place, but everybody is kind of on different pages, right? Yeah. One person got one philosophy in real estate, another person has another philosophy. And I saw the property itself was a great deal, but the two philosophies messed up the deal. They couldn't come on one accord. But what I love, like you said, we got over 2,000 people in this group, and everybody in the group came through the course. Yeah. Everybody came through the same course. So therefore, that's why this group is so special, because we all like-minded individuals. We got the blueprint. So if we do a JV deal, nobody's going to say, oh, well, nah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it at 80% of the ARV. No, we already got the blueprint. Let's follow it. So you guys are in a group. That's what I love about this is 2,000. And what we did, the reason why we made it members only, because we wanted to cut the fat. I didn't want nobody in this group that didn't have the same mindset. I didn't want anybody in the group that don't have that same passion, that same drive, that same want. And so that's what this group is all about. It's about individuals that's like-minded. So man, we need to, and that's why just recently, Ashante put out a post asking you guys where you're from. You know, we wanted you to sound off where you from, because we're putting together now a region. So make real estate real Florida, make real estate real Texas, make real estate real Chicago, all over. So you guys can meet up. So you can meet up now and possibly do some JV deals together, man. I'm excited, man. I'm about to, come on.
Hey,
I'm excited.
Man, you know, I always say real estate is a contact sport. You don't make money in real estate by yourself. So guys, get together, network, explore possibilities together, because everybody's here is chasing the same goal. And in real estate, as I said, this is still real estate, and this is one of the best ways of creating wealth that there is.
Now, I will say this too. Now, this is just me giving. Now, you guys can do whatever you want to do, right? You know, you went through the class. You know, you guys are investors, and so you're not newbies anymore. But I would say that, you know, when it comes to me personally, my buy and holds, I personally like to keep that just for me and my family. I don't want to do a JV deal with somebody on a buy and hold, and because I had a building for every bill. I needed that income from that property. But I would say in the market like now with fixing and flipping, this would be great. This would be great. And like I said, market values, we're still seeing the same ARVs. In some cities, the ARVs actually even going up, you know, as far as from before COVID started. So, you know, so think about, you know, possibly for fixing and flipping, you know, doing a JV with some other like-minded individuals.
Right. I mean, one of the other things, you know, we've talked about wholesale, and I put that out there, and it almost like wholesaling takes a back seat to everything. But as an investor, I mean, I'll wholesale right now if the right deal comes along. Now, you know, you create your strategy for the market that you're in. And for a lot of our new people to the group, you know, when you want to increase your knowledge base of real estate investing and increase your resource and your contact base for real estate investing and make money while you do it as a low cost or you know, a low equity position, you can leverage wholesaling to do that. So don't rule that out as a possible solution in this market right now to get you to the next step. And Jemal, people always say, I had a couple calls this week. I live in New York, you know, properties are expensive. It doesn't matter how expensive properties are. If there are buyers in that market, you can wholesale to them. So don't worry about price points. You do the due diligence that you need to do to go through, source the property, negotiate. Oh, that's another thing, Jemal. While you're in the hole, learn how to negotiate. Up your negotiating skills, because I'm telling you, there will be some assets coming to the market as we start to move forward and come out of this pandemic.
Man, I'm telling you, this is like, I was sitting back even thinking about it, like in 2008 when the market crashed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even sure if I talked about this, man, on a Make Real Estate Real course, but when the market crashed, and I maybe showed it, I think on my slides, this was the time period when I purchased more properties than ever before. Like this was the time. Like the Jemal y'all hear about, it all happened really after '08, after the market crashed. There were so many properties available. And that's what I'm telling people right now. And somebody had sent a message and was asking me like, well, you know, the real estate course, and there's only one message I got, probably out of 1,000 people. You know, and it was like, well, the real estate course talked about 10% down. You know, maybe you should have talked about 30% down in the real estate course. I'm like, no, because that's just a little small situation. This is how it's been for years. And this is how it's going to go back to. So this is the blueprint. I'm not going to change the blueprint just because of these little outside factors. It will get back, guaranteed. But the question is not will it get back, but will you be ready?
Right.
That's what I'm telling you. I see people all the time sitting on the sideline talking about I want to get in the game, but they're not ready. Get yourself ready for ultimate success. Ultimate, not just on like buying one property. Like the people who came through this course, you couldn't have picked a better time than to come through the course and get this information. Because when the market goes back, when lending, because the market is still there, when lending goes back to what it was, I'm sitting here telling y'all, take off running. Yeah. You'll be able to take off, do several deals at a time, but make sure that you're not on the sideline trying to figure it out. You have to be ready to execute, because I'm telling you, I'm out here. I'm still buying right now. And I'm gonna be out here and I'm gonna be buying double. I'm gonna be closing on several properties at a time. You know, during the last, you know, '08, during the last crisis or whatever, I probably bought over, I don't know, maybe 60, 80 units. I probably bought 17 single family houses, you know, like within 2 to 3 months time period, all cash. So I'm sitting here telling y'all, get yourself ready for what's about to come. This is about to be like a time like never before. I'm telling you, it's about to be like never before. And so the things that's going to come from this pandemic, the things after this pandemic, you're buying properties for your grandkids right now. That's how many properties are going to be available. That's how everything is about to be on for sale right now. So, man, look, go ahead, man.
So
go ahead.
There was a question that I saw in the group that someone, it was a great question too. They asked, well, if hard money lenders aren't lending, and it was relative to wholesaling, then where can you wholesale the properties to if lenders aren't lending? Well, I wanted to address that, and I did earlier, but I wanted to connect it to experienced investors can't find financing right now, so that's who you would be flipping to, or you could possibly be flipping to an end buyer. So the market is still there for wholesalers because people are still out in the marketplace. But it's imperative, you know, I want to make sure that everybody, the lender and me, you know, I'm not that risk averse because I'm also an investor, but you just want to do your due diligence. Guys, be patient right now, but also stay vigilant, as I said, in your approach and your planning, because as Jemal just said, the opportunities are going to be coming. You know, unfortunately, we had 33 million unemployment claims. The job loss will create some defaults, Jemal. It's just like you just said in 06, 07, 08. So there will be some foreclosures, but that's where you will eat when they come to the market. They will be coming to the market in 3, 4, 5 months.
Wow. Well, let me show you, man. I don't know about 3, 4, 5 months, but already. So I'm going to just give you a little rundown real quick. And everybody that's on here, we all family. And that's what I love about being on here, because I could just talk freely, you know, and I'm on IG, and, you know, I'm talking to somebody's like, you know, what's your formula? And I'm like, like, you know, get the course. So, but on here, I can talk freely. Man, auction.com. Everybody that's on here, all 2,000 of y'all, start going to auction.com, type in a zip code. You can type in Chicago, you can type in whatever, and start looking at the market. Get familiar with the market. I'm getting on auction.com. I promise y'all, I just bought 2 properties on auction.com like last week. And I bought 1 2-flat building for $55,000. $55,000. The ARV comes back at $270,000. And my rehab cost, I promise you, is like minimum. It's like $50,000 to $60,000.
Wow.
I got another property that I bought on auction.com for $83,000. The ARV comes back on this one for $380,000. And the rehab cost, even if I put 100 into it, I'm into it for $180,000. So this is the type, and the crazy thing is, when I was on there was nobody bidding against me. There was nobody bidding against me. And the reason why I know, because I've been on there before, and the day one when a property stays on it for 3 days, day one when a property hits the market, you know, people put bids in, you're putting bids in. And then all of a sudden you can see the prices rising. I'm not even making a bid on the market until the last 5 minutes.
Wow.
That the property been on the market. And it hasn't changed one bit. And so when I put a bid on it, then I see another bid go, I know that it's the auctioneer. So the auctioneer is allowed to place bids on properties also, right? And then so he's raising. Right. What's that?
I said, that don't seem right.
Oh, it don't seem right at all, but his way of raising the price.
Yeah.
And so because the banks have a reserve amount that a lot of times they want to meet. So the auctioneer doesn't really have the approval right to say, hey, you won this property, right? You can win a bid, but sometimes the auctioneer still has to talk to the seller of the property, which is usually the bank. And so a lot of times, if they're asking 150, let's say the reserve amount is 150,000, but yet the auction maybe started this property at 50,000, and it got all the way up to maybe maximum of 100,000. The auction, a lot of times they'll say the reserve is not met. And then even though you won the bid, they can tell you, yeah, well, no, the property's going back on the market because it did not meet the reserve. Now, there's some properties that goes on there that they don't even have a reserve amount. They just trying to get it off their books. Yeah. And that was that one property that I got for $55,000. Yeah. Literally for $55,000. I could turn around and wholesale that property if I wanted to without doing nothing, and probably wholesale that property and probably make a good 40,000 on it, 45,000 if I wanted to. But I'm going to keep the property and make me over $100,000. But I just want you guys to get familiar with that. If you have cash, you know, cash is king. And that's what I'm on there because a lot of these auctions, they want cash. And so that's where you will talk to some of your family members and show them, you know, show your friends, show these high net worth individuals like Mark likes to call them, and show them, you know, what you can possibly do. Show them the ARVs, run the whole system down to them and show them what you guys could possibly do. So I just wanted to let you know it's auction.com. There's another one called Homes. There's a few other ones, and I posted in the Make Real Estate Real site. But these auction sites, y'all, are great right now because it used to be, oh man, even going to the court. I got me and Damon on June the 8th or June something, we're going to the courts. We got like 7 properties that we've identified, and these are all cash also. And I'm going to the courthouse trying to walk away with probably like 10 properties, you know, just going to the courthouse, and literally these are foreclosures, you know, so you got to ride the wave. You got to be able to move with the way the market is. You got to be able to dance with the market. You know, the market moved left. You don't want to go right. You want to move left with the market. You know, the market move right. You want to go ahead and move right with the market. You want to be a great dance partner with the market. And so that's exactly what I'm doing right now. And then trust me, guys, the fixing and flipping is the way to go. You know, wholesaling is the way to go. Build up your cash reserve, because I promise you, you're going to, these multi-units, that these 4 units, these 6 units, these 8 units, they're going to be plentiful, and they're going to go for cheap. So get your cash up right now with buying and holding, and then take those funds when lending start back again, and then use those to do your buy and holds.
Yeah. Well, Jemal, what you're saying is, you know, you are developing your plan for how you're going to source properties, whether it's the courthouse steps, auction.com. You have your sources of where you're going, bank foreclosures, and that's being in the hole, and that's what they need to do. But if they don't have the capital, again, develop your plan, right? So I kind of wanted to, you know, Jemal, also kind of give an overview of where I think the market is going from a lending standpoint.
Yeah, please.
And set an expectation. Now, this is just myself based upon what I see. We see that shelter-in-place orders are starting to be released, suspended by different states. So as soon as we get back to some sense of normalcy and the job market picks back up, I'm going to speculate that by maybe July, end of July, maybe August, you'll start to see things come back. So, you know, don't say, well, Mark said that. You know, that's market speculation on my part. But if you continue to do the things that the course is teaching you, stay engaged. You know, as I said, I'm a resource here for the group members. It's not about just doing a loan. If you guys are pre-approvable, you got your credit score, you have your capital, give me a call. We can still get you a pre-approval issue, and we'll talk through your strategies of how you might take the property down. So This call was definitely to make sure that everyone stays enthusiastic, because it's still real estate. It's still that mechanism that's going to grow wealth for you and your family.
Man, I was about to ask you what some key points that you want to, relate to the family, to the group, but I guess you just did. So, no, that's good, man.
We've talked about it. I mean, I had them. It's negotiating, it's networking, it's studying, it's being patient. I like your analogy of being that dance partner, because you got to ride the wave with it. You can't go against it, because that's where you're going to lose. The market always wins. And if you follow the waves of the market, you can pick your spots. And I don't care what asset class you're looking at invested in, single families, multi-units, you can go storage, you can go industrial. There's a market out there for you if you learn the ins and outs of how to invest in it and where the buyers and sellers are.
Yeah, and even some of you guys, if you're just sitting with cash and maybe you like, okay, well, I have 100,000 or, I have $100,000 of cash and it might not be enough for me to do a couple properties, flip them. I tell you what I did in 2008. After the market crashed, I was just buying a bunch of properties. I wasn't even fixing them. I was buying them cash. Every single month, I would buy a property cash and I would just hold on to that property, right? The carrying cost was very minimal because the property taxes were low on it. And I wouldn't even rent I would just have the property. And you guys already know how I feel about banks, right? And so I believe in putting my money in the bricks. It's more, you got more value when your money is in the bricks as opposed to the banks. And, the banks just loaning your money out to other individuals, or they hold on the money for like right now and not loaning it out.
Exactly.
So I would just take my money and I would put it in the bricks. And then because I was getting I was leveraging my cash, right? I was just leveraging it, and nobody else, if somebody put their property on the market right now, nobody is buying it because they can't get financing. So if I come along and they're asking $100,000 for this property and it's on the market and nobody's biting on it because they can't get financing, I go in there and I say, hey, 60,000 cash. I'll close it in less than 7 days. Literally, I promise you, they're either going to say yes or they're going to say, I'll call you back, and they end up calling back literally within another week because they don't know and they want a bird in the hand is worth more than two in the bush. So I'm leveraging my cash. Now that property is probably sitting, with I don't know, maybe $100,000 of equity. And so I took my cash and I put it in these bricks, and then now my money has just grown automatically. And then when the market turned right and when the lending opens back up, now I could just start selling these properties to other investors. That's what you guys can do. You can, we make real estate real. You can fix the properties up yourself and, just go ahead. If you own the property, now you go to somebody like Mark and you already own the deed outright. And you say, hey, Mark, hey, I got this property. I own it free and clear. I want to get a rehab loan on it. What you going to say, Mark?
Hey, we're going to evaluate it. We're going to do our due diligence, see where the market is. And if you have an equity investment already in it, you can get at least up to 70% of it out, and do the construction loan on it. So yes.
And do the construction loan on it.
Exactly.
So your money is not gone. So now he's going to give you 70% of the money, equity, or the money that you spent.
Money that you spent, your equity.
So 70%. So if you spent $100,000 to acquire this property, he's going to give you back $70,000 up front and give you the money. Depending on the ARV, he's going to give you the money also to renovate the property. So ride the wave, dance with the market, dance with it. So, man, anything else, Mark? I know I've been having you on here. Man, I can't see any questions, but can you see questions?
I cannot. Ashante, you have anything for us?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Tay.
Okay. So, guys, if you want to start posting questions in the Facebook group, we'll read them off and the guys will answer them for you. So let's see. Here's one. How do you know how much repairs are needed for the auction homes is a question that's in the group.
Oh, man. For one thing, I look at, they have pictures, right? So if you go on there, so I want everybody on Make Real Estate Real, go to auction.com. A lot of these properties have pictures. If they don't have pictures, I'm going to give you a little secret. If they don't have pictures, Google the address. And when you Google the address, if this property has ever been on the market before, they're going to show you old pictures of the property. They're going to show you. So if auction.com, didn't get in there and actually take the pictures, then trust me, you go on Google, you should be able to get some pictures. But if it's no pictures at all, I'll drive by the property and just get a feel for the way the property look from the outside. Sometimes the window might be open. The property is vacant. The window might be open. Y'all know I used to be a police officer. Sometimes the door might, if it's boarded up, sometimes the board might be falling off the front door. I'm not gonna tell you how to break into a property, but hey, that's $100,000 in there. My kids' tuition is in that property, and that board is standing in the way from my kids' generational wealth. So I'm gonna do what I got to do to get in there. But my worst case scenario, just like my wife haven't been letting me leave the house. Y'all know I've been sitting up like, man, I got to get out here and look at these properties. And so I have a thing. I know my contractors. I know the people that I work with. And we have a per floor, price. And usually, it's like $35,000 per floor. So if I'm buying a 2-flat building, then that's $70,000. And that means that I'm going in, and I got to redo everything in there. And so I just automatically know, and I just do my worst case. So I reverse engineer my numbers. And I really don't care what the property looked like on the inside, truthfully. The numbers tells me what the property looks like. The numbers. We taught y'all about the numbers. The numbers never lie. And so I reverse engineer and I look at my worst case. Now, if I happen to get inside this property after purchasing it, if I'm happy with my worst case numbers, then once I go in there, I'm expecting to see the whole place burnt down pretty much inside. But then when I get in there and I see the nice hardwood floors, I see cabinets that could be saved. I see electrical that's already pretty decent. I see plumbing. I'm like, oh, so now every dollar now is just extra added on to my worst case scenario. And so that's how I do it.
That's a great answer, Jemal. And that's exactly it. You got to back those numbers out. But in his answer, family, this is where you can learn what it takes to rehab a certain type of house, where you can connect with a contractor. You'll know what it takes. If a bathroom is $5,000, a finished basement, a kitchen, if it's 2 kitchens, you can learn numbers yourself while you're in the 14 hole, and you'll know how to apply those numbers, as Jemal said, worst case, and back them out, because the ARV is going to be there, and it's not that much of a concern if you do a full gut anyway, right? I think that's your approach.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. They become a master at. And I just play around. Sometimes I'm not even looking to even buy a property, but I'm always looking at properties. I'm always on Redfin, auction.com. April is sending me listings. I'm always looking at properties. I'm always evaluating. So I've become a master. I remember I told you guys, I looked at 77 properties when I first got started. I physically went inside of 77 properties, but in that act, I was becoming a master of being able to evaluate properties. And now I look at hundreds of properties in one day, just about a computer and by the photos. So, and looking at the numbers.
Next question, should you be flipping under your name versus an LLC?
Yeah, what the thing is, everything I flip is always LLC. I leave my name out of everything. So I use LLCs just for everything.
Yeah, well, you want to mitigate your risk and protect yourself from any exposure. So you want that to be in your company name. And then number 2, when lending is back, hard money lenders, you have to be in an entity, whether it's an LLC or a corporation.
And also you want to look at this. Remember, guys, this is a business. Exactly. Like the thing, and I think a lot of people miss that. So the thing I love about Make Real Estate Real is that I get so excited when people actually, maybe worked with Zeno and they got their LLC started. Like, dude, do y'all realize? I know a lot of people looking for the property and things like that, but you literally just started your own corporation. Like, you just started your own business. Like, you a 1%er. You started your own corporation. And I've been looking at these corporations, got your names in them, it's legacies. And I'm like, wow, that's huge. Like, your company, your legacy, your LLC is going to outlive you. And it started all with you. So I think sometimes we got to sit back and really congratulate ourselves for the fact that you took that first step and started your own company. Some of us worked for companies for 20, 30 years. We worked for other people. We worked for other companies, but now we started our own, and that means something. And so it's like, man, go ahead, start your company, flip your properties in this company, make that profit, it's all corporate, make it in the company, put it in the company and pay yourself a paycheck.
Exactly, and you're going to create other companies after this one, because if you do a JV, that means you guys are going to form another company. You're going to dissolve companies, so don't fall in love with the names of companies because they're going to come and go. You're going to have one for flipping, you're going to have one for holding, but as Jemal said, this is a business, and at this point, when you paid them money for that Make Real Estate Real course, you became a professional investor. So this is a business.
Awesome. Mark, Diana is asking, can you speak on VA loans?
So I can. I mean, I'm a veteran myself, but VA loan is kind of the best thing out there smoking. It's a 100% program. You can use that on a 1 to 4 unit. So if you have your letter, just check with and they're still lending. They're not going to stop lending to veterans. 100% financing. They also have a small rehab construction part. I think it's only on single families, but Natasha Robinson would be the expert on that. But VA is still lending. And I don't know if there's anyone in rural areas, but there's also the USDA loan, which is also 100% financing, and they're still lending as well.
Yep, and I'm gonna get Natasha on here. Like I said, I'm getting everybody on here. So I'm gonna get her on here, and she's gonna talk to you guys about, VA, about HUD, about just everything that she got going on, the 203K loans, things like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next one is, how hard is it to refi out of a hard money loan into a conventional to pull money out?
Well, that's a great question. That was something we didn't touch on, Jemal, is the state of rental loans.
Now, are they saying like right now in this climate, or are they just saying overall?
That was from Holloway. I am not sure. Holloway, I'm assuming they're talking about right now in this climate, I imagine.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now, I talked about earlier the secondary market for hard money lenders. Your Fannie Mae, and I just want to give you guys some perspective. Fannie Mae, FHA, VA, they're called qualified mortgages, QM. Anything outside of that is called non-QM. And so that's where the rental loans fell under, non-QM. The non-QM market dried up totally. So right now, there are no options for non-QM loans. If you're in a project right now, your best option is going to be a small bank or a very healthy bank who will hold that mortgage on their balance sheet. Now, what I'm going to be doing is kind of checking out some of the banks in the area as the resource for Make Real Estate Real Family, and try to find us a bank. And Jemal, that might be something that we can talk about offline, where we'll maybe go into some of the local banks and present the program and the 70% rule, and see if we can secure a bank that'll take our the loans that are coming through the program. But right now there are no loans, but if you can find a small bank who has a strong balance sheet, they may look at it.
Cool.
Awesome. Next one, Joshua Flores. No, you don't have to be a real estate agent to wholesale, so I can answer that for you.
Look at Tay. Go ahead, Tay. Tay been paying attention. Come on, Tay.
Now, Tay, there's a caveat to that in the state of Illinois, though. There was a state law that was passed that said you can only wholesale one property, and then you have to get your license. That's only in the state of Illinois. Right. I don't know how they're enforcing that, but it is on the books.
Yeah, but it's way, we got ways of getting around it.
Let's see. Darwin is asking, do you ever use Zillow, Realtor, Remax to buy homes?
I use April True. So, but have I? No, I. You know what, man? Crazy. I probably bought every property, maybe except for one, through April. So no, I don't. But those are great resources. Absolutely. But like I said, now I'm using a lot of auction sites because I just remember back in 2008. This was, people, you can get, I'm talking about, I was buying single family houses for $15,000 that still had people in them. So, just to let you guys know. So, but all of those sites, I'm a personal type person. So I like to, remember how we went over the course about how to put your team. Zillow don't know me. Zillow don't know me personally. Zillow don't know what I'm looking for. Zillow, I don't want to talk to a computer and stuff like that. I need somebody to understand, what my purpose is for this property. So I like to talk to people. So that's my preference. But they can't.
I'll back that up, Jemal. Just saying that, those sites are third-party sites and they're buying information. You want to go to your trusted real estate professional. You can leverage them for information. Look at the photos, as Jemal said, but a lot of times their data is behind and it's not accurate, but use it for what it's worth, but put your trust in a professional.
Yep.
Okay, Lou wants to know, if you have 15,000 to start, would now be a good time to jump in, or should you wait to build?
What's his purpose?
Thank you.
Come on, man, go back to the course.
Lou, circle back and let us know what your purpose is.
Hey, what's your purpose? Your purpose determines if it's a great time to purchase. Your purpose is going to determine what type of property to purchase. It's all about your purpose. For me right now, I'm out here flipping properties right now because my purpose, I'm gonna let y'all know. We're gonna come real soon. I can't even tell you what my purpose is, but when I do tell you, my purpose is to help you guys out even more. Let's just say that.
You guys can't be asking questions that get Jemal hyped up and then his voice gets louder. And I'm like, you ruining everything we've been working on all week.
I know.
Let me chime in on that real quick, Tay. We, from a lending standpoint, we want to see at least $20,000, but getting into a project, you're going to need a little bit more than that. As an investor, Lou, you always want to continuously try to build your capital. 20 is a starting place, but you're always working on capital. So use this time to, leverage some of the ideas we talked about. Source capital, get your credit up, things like that. But 15 is a start. You might want to partner with someone who has another 15. I don't know, but you still need to get that capital up.
Good answer.
Got it. Okay, so Jermaine is asking, can you explain the process again of buying a property cash and then going through Mark for the rehab loan?
You want to explain it, Mark?
Yeah. So if you purchase a property cash, let's say you put $50,000 out on the purchase price.
Well, first off, start. I want to start in the beginning part, how you leverage. You leverage in your cash. There's not many cash buyers out here.
Right.
And so instantly this is how you leverage your cash. So instantly when I buy a property, I'm already getting it maybe 30,000 or 30% cheaper than what the market asks for. Why? Because I have cash and I can close quick. And a lot of these sellers got to sell these properties immediately, and they can't afford to wait 30, 60 days for a person that might not close. So if I show proof of funds that I got the cash and I can buy this property in full as quick as they can get the title together, then now they know it, I know it, everybody know it, that we're going to take the price down a little bit because I'm coming with cash. Now, once you leverage your cash and get it a little bit cheaper, now, Mark.
Right. So once you pay that cash, you can bring it to me. And what we will do is do a refinance cash out of your equity investment. We'll give you 70% of that 50 back and do the construction loan on it. So we're still going to go through getting an appraisal, getting an inspection, get your budget. So you get a little money back from what you put into it, and you get the construction loan, and you start the process to rehabbing it on a 13-month term. Hopefully you get through it in about 3 months. And then you can, once the market comes back, you can refi it out into a longer term loan.
So imagine if you had like $100,000 cash right now, as opposed to taking $100,000 cash, buying one property for $50,000 and putting $50,000 in it to fix it. You possibly can buy 3 properties with that $100,000 cash and just sit on those 3 properties and wait till Mark is able to lend again. The hard money lenders are lending again, and then now you got 3 properties that you can get 3 construction loans on, and you can get back 70% initially off the top, off all 3 of those properties and construction loan on them. So that's just how I see it.
Right. Again, your purpose is also your disposition strategy. So you're going to go through that due diligence of what you're going to do with this property. What is the highest and best use for this property for me to profit short-term and or long-term? So once you go through that with your realtor, you'll make a decision on what you want to do with the property, and that'll give you kind of an idea of what you're going to do with the other properties after that.
Let's see. Let's do 2 more. You guys good? Man,
this reminds me of the everybody listening has been to the 2-day seminar. Y'all know Tay be on that, she on that microphone like, hey, we got 2 more.
I'm just, it's been a little bit. So we'll do three. We'll do three more. What credit score do you need for current funding requirements?
Current, you want to be at 700. There's some cases where you can get 680. But again, the experience is the key piece. But to answer your question, 700, 680 minimum.
Got it. Next one is, if the banks aren't lending, then who would be buying our fix and flips?
Oh, wow. No, the banks are lending. Don't get it twisted. Hard money lenders are not lending. Banks are lending. Mark said in the beginning that, we just told you what interest rates are at the all-time low. So they're 2.75. So you got, FHA buyers are getting loans right now. They're getting loans. So they're the flips that I'm doing, my 3 units, my single family houses, people are buying them. I'm getting contracts on properties before I even put them on the market. And so people love to move into people with VA loans. They're buying because they're still getting money. Go ahead, Mark.
I don't know. In the Chicago market, there was already a housing shortage before COVID. And so that shortage still exists and people are going to have to live somewhere. So if you're in the price point up to about 350,000, those properties are still selling. They're selling to those essential workers who are still employed. So that market is there. Interest rates are low, like you just said, and the people are employed and they can get financing. So that's who's going to buy it.
Yeah.
Your job is
to remember, guys,
enough rehab.
Right. And remember, we're real estate investors. We don't sell to other real estate investors. So nothing has really changed for us other than the fact of the hard money lending. We wasn't selling to other investors anyway, unless you're wholesaling. Right. You were selling to the people, to the homeowners, to the people that want to occupy these properties, to the people that want to buy these properties fixed up. Remember, we're fixing up these properties. So, or we're renting to people. So the market is still the same for us. The only thing now, you got to pivot when it comes to the lending portion of it right now. You just got to, but the market is still the same.
Exactly.
Ria is asking, when you refi to get money from home equity, does that money have to be paid back?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, everything got to be paid back, but it's not taxed. I mean, it's not capital gains, right? So it's a loan. So you absolutely have to pay the money back. I mean, that's, now if you're talking about doing a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit, that money is sitting in your bank account. So if you did a line of credit for, let's say, $80,000, that's what I did on my first property. I don't like using the words, don't have to pay it back. Yes, the money just sits in a separate bank account, and that 80,000 is in there. Now, if I use 20,000 of the 80,000, then I'm only being charged interest on that $20,000. And then as you pay back that $20,000, it goes back to the $80,000, or to the $60,000 that's in there now. But it goes back to that bank account. But when you're just talking about doing a cash out refinance, absolutely, you have to. It's part of your mortgage payment. It's just factored into your mortgage payment.
Exactly.
Got it. How do you go about doing a JV? Do you have to go to a title attorney to draw up the paperwork?
So I'm sure Jamal's going to have either Adrian or Damon on the attorneys. I try to stay in my lane, but no, you're going to go to an attorney who's going to draw up an operating agreement, and you guys are going to talk through who's going to do what. Everything is going to be outlined in that operating agreement of who's going to execute what, and you guys are going to sign that, and that's how you have to operate on that particular project, whether you bring two entities or you guys form an entity together.
All right. And the great thing about it, if you partner with anybody, I'm telling y'all, do not pass up on this step. Do not say, hey, man, we just going to do it together. No, get you an attorney and outline everything. It's for you. It's for both of you guys' benefit. So that way you guys know, hey, this is 50-50. This is what we're bringing to the table. You guys got it all outlined. It just makes the deal go faster, makes it go better, make it go smoother, because everybody knows going into the deal what to expect.
Right. And the attorney will talk through the language and what needs to go within it and make sure that you guys are clear on both your side, a great understanding before you get into the project.
And the great thing is, I mean, make real estate real. We got You got attorneys already on hand that knows exactly how to handle it. Adrian Zeno, Damon Stewart, trust me, they know exactly what to do.
Perfect. I'm trying to understand this next question. So Crystal is asking, will hard money lenders look at flips under your own name as experience when using an LLC in the future? There we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they will.
Do you suggest using a HELOC to purchase your first property?
If you can get a HELOC and you can leverage that, I suggest whatever you have at your availability to utilize, 401k, HELOC, stock, leverage it if it makes sense and the cost is substantiated by the yield. Let me start talking like a lender. If you're going to make money, yes.
Yeah, never use a HELOC to pay debt. You know, make your assets take care of your liabilities. So I only borrow money if I'm gonna make more money than what I borrow. That's my golden rule. I never borrow money to pay debt. That's like, you know, my grandfather used to always say that, you know, you can't borrow your way out of debt. You know, that's exactly what you're doing. You're trying to borrow your way out of debt. Only use debt to make you more money.
Right.
And for the people who are watching who don't know what a HELOC is, can you guys explain it just real quick so they know?
It's a home equity line of credit. So if you have a home and it's worth $100,000 and you don't have a mortgage on it, you can get a home equity line of credit for $100,000 to draw on it to go out and purchase things, no matter what it is. So you're going to draw on that $100,000 at a certain interest rate from your bank.
And what I love about it is that you're not getting charged. I love HELOCs better than I love cash out refi because you're not getting charged on it. So here it is, you have $100,000, $200,000 in the bank just sitting there and you're not getting charged. And now you got this money to use it whenever you need it. And so if you need 50,000 of it, you take 50,000 out, boom, purchase property, boom, refinance, fix it up, boom. I mean, really, that's what I was doing after a while. Once you get a HELOC, and you got enough in there, you at that point, no offense, Mark, but you can X out the lenders and you can start loaning to yourself. You know, so.
Hey, Jamal, I'm an investor myself.
I know.
Hard money lending is the platform and typically have the money, but wherever you can get cheaper capital is where you should go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, guys. Rob wants to know, do you put each investment property in a different LLC?
Well, that'd be called a series LLC. And at one point I did, you know, at one point I did, and it was crazy. I can't even tell you. Damon would have to. I'm gonna bring Damon on, and he's gonna tell you how crazy it was. It was crazy because I had probably about, I don't know, maybe at least about 23 companies, 23 LLCs at one point in time, and I had 23 bank accounts. Every bank account went to every LLC and every property. The name of each LLC was every property, and then the money from that property would go to one bank account, then another bank account, and it just got crazy. And then we was just like, all right, then I had to do tax returns, and it was just crazy. I had the parent company, and then so what we did, we started consolidating it, and then I think it was Zeno or Damon, one of them. We would start grouping them, and then I started putting 5 properties under one series LLC. And so yeah, I do have multiple LLCs, but I have now, and the reason why we were doing that, so you have, you know, your attorney telling you one thing, it was for liability, you know, so if you have all these different properties, and I'm gonna have Damon come on here, and I'm gonna have Zeno come on here and talk about this, when you have all these properties, you know, and it's all under the same LLC, you have exposure. You know, if something happens, somebody want to sue you, even if the city of Chicago or whatever city you're from, and they give you a ticket, they will literally put that ticket against every property that you have. They'll put it against that LLC. And then so now, when you go to refinance this property, when you go to sell this property, whatever, this property now, this ticket will show up on the title. And so, and I remember having that, and I was like, wow, here it is, something that's unrelated to these properties that I had. But yet here it is, I'm trying to sell this property, and some ticket or something pops up, some violation pops up, and then now it went against every single property I had. So I was like, wow, what happened if I get sued? As far as if something happens to a person, the same thing will take place. They can sue and pretty much it opened up the curtain to every single property I have. So then we just said, okay, well, let me just group 5 properties. So if something happens to me now, it's only going to affect 5. And that's crazy to now sitting back saying I'm fine with something affecting 5 properties. But back in the day, I'd have been like, 5 properties, that's a lot. So yeah, so Damon and Zeno, Adrian and Zeno, they can talk to you about that if you want to know a little bit more, but it's called a Series LLC.
Yeah. And you also want to pull your accountant into that conversation, I think, Jemal.
Yep, that's true too.
Let's see, guys. So one note, guys, I see a lot of questions about wholesaling. And so some of the questions, the answers are actually in the course. So if you haven't had this yet, to look at that section.
Well, tell everybody too. That's good. I'm going to bring Aaron on here also.
Yeah.
So, man, this is something that, and tell everybody, I'm saying tell everybody like they're not hearing me. Everybody. I'm going to start bringing all of the people, everybody on the team. I'm going to start bringing everybody, and we're just going to have these conversations. I'm going to bring Mark back. I'm going to have April. Oh, man, y'all, I don't know if y'all knew it. April's been recovering. So I know a lot of you guys been sending me messages like, hey, I've been trying to reach April. She's not hitting me back. No, April has been recovering. I hope she all right with me telling everybody. But she did have the COVID-19 virus, and it struck her pretty hard. And so her husband actually had it also. And so, man, y'all keep her in your prayers. I keep me in your prayers. It has been rough. This has been the first time in 20 years that me and April haven't talked in like 2 days. Yeah, I'm talking about, I'm in a different country. I was in Italy, I was at the Vatican, and I'm on the phone with April talking about real estate. And so, but this was something different. So y'all keep her in the prayers. She is getting better. So she's on the upswing right now. So, but she still has her team members. Natalie been great, and the team, they all was had real, so they still been on there, still answering questions and things like that. But she should be, knowing April, she'll probably be back in probably another week or so. So y'all keep in the prayers.
It's great to hear. Hey, those questions about wholesaling, I want to congratulate Grace Vasquez, who won the offering. I sponsored one person from the group, Jemal, I don't know if you knew, for Aaron and Michael's course, wholesaling course, the power, what was it called? The power wholesaling course. So
okay.
The link is out there. So, I know you're going to have Aaron on, but connect with them guys and get that information, because it could help you whether you execute a wholesale deal or not.
And guys, the reason why I'm jumping over some of the wholesaling questions is just because I want us to ask questions that like are Mark specific, since we have him on. So that's the reason why I'm just, hopping over some of them. So here's the next one. Is it possible to purchase a home on auction.com directly from the homeowner if the foreclosure process isn't done?
From my experience, when it's on auction.com, pretty much it's already pretty much a done deal. Like the whole process of foreclosure probably went through. And so there's other ways of trying to get properties that maybe people are losing and getting foreclosed on. But by the time it's on auction.com, I think the last day for them to redeem or whatever has already passed.
Yeah, typically it's a bank or an institutional lender that works for who has engaged auction.com. So once it gets there, no, you can't negotiate. If they don't sell it, it'll then go to the overall market. It'll probably end up in the MLS.
So I mean it this time, guys. We're only doing like 2 more because this is the second call. So his voice, we gotta pull the plug in a second. So let me see. Ashante, tell Jemal to send me his list, please, of the leftovers.
I got you. Who was that?
That was Ernie.
Ernie, oh, come on, Ernie. You just bought like 2 properties, man. Ernie killing it. He's killing it, man. I'm proud of him, man. He came to Chicago, had a closing, and I surprised Ernie. Like, I've never even been to a closing before. I don't even go to my own closings. So I told Ernie, I was like, man, this is really special, bro, because I don't go to closings. But I popped up, and Ernie had his dad, and, they live out in Arizona, and they came, and April was kind of keeping them busy, and I snuck up on him, and he was just shocked, man, and to see his father. And he was just talking about how this purpose that he had was to retire his father. He's talking about how he's first generation born here in America, and his father was, from Mexico. And his father can talk a little bit of English, but just to see the way his father was looking at him You know, his father was just looking at him with this look, just like, wow, like my son. His dad had this look like, you know, this is why I came to America. This is the dream. And to see Ernie was already successful in his right. You know, he owns a HVAC company.
Yeah.
But just to see him now, you know, a real estate investor, and he's been to several real estate courses before this course. And he told me that. He told me beforehand, like, look, man, I've been to several real estate courses, man, and I still haven't bought a property. And I was like, bro, trust me. Like, this is the last real estate course you'll ever go to. And sure enough, and he executed, got 2 properties, and they working them out right now, man. So, yeah, now I'm proud of him. So, but now I ain't sending you my list, man. Some other people that need to buy properties, man. Let's go.
Hey, Jemal, let me speak on Ernie real quick, because they were an ideal client, both of them, senior and junior. You talk about being prepared, credit, cash, and whenever an underwriter requested something, no matter how busy Ernie was in his day job, his business, I got things within an hour notice. I mean, they were sending things, and they closed, I think, those 2 transactions maybe 1 week after another. But those guys are ideal clients, being prepared, getting documentation in, and executing.
I think that's the consensus, though, man. If you think about it, it's about being prepared. It's about execute, man. And those that are, I think that's the have and the have-nots. You know, you gotta, and that's what I'm just looking at people in the class, and you got certain people, certain individuals that's just execute, man. There's so many of them that, you know, I can't even name them all, but, you know, I know who they are, and they just execute, and I'm just proud to see it, man. Like I said, y'all, this has been more fulfilling for me to see you guys win than it was for me, you know, all these years just purchasing properties myself. After a while, it was like, all right, I came up with I told you I have a purpose for every property you purchase. I got more properties than I got purposes now. So it just got to the point where it's like, you know, but now my purpose is in you guys, and I'm seeing y'all win. And it's like, it feels good to know, you know, that we got this. I feel like I got an army with me. You know, I feel like, you know, y'all keep me motivated. Now I hear about y'all winning. I hear about you guys closing on deals. And I'm like, oh man, let me go buy me some more properties. So, you know, you guys have given me a whole nother purpose. And so, man, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rennie is asking, is cash at the table way different if it comes from a retirement account?
It's cash.
Well, you say at the table. She's saying at the closing table?
I'm guessing, but that's all the information that's in the.
So upfront at the pre-approval process, we're going to weight retirement accounts at 50% of the value. So if you get pre-approved and you get approved for a project, you need to bring the cash to the table. As long as you're pre-approved, it really doesn't matter where the money comes from, as long as it's from one of your accounts.
Got it. I'm trying to, this is a long one. So I purchased a 2-flat cash in Chicago pre-COVID. My plan was to buy the property like Jemal teaches. COVID hit before I could get a rehab loan. What are my options at this point to rehab the property? Sit and wait for hard money lenders to readjust to doable rates? I own the property outright. Thanks in advance.
So right now your options are, we kind of talked about them earlier. From a lending standpoint, you might want to call me tomorrow, 773-858-8320. Let's talk through it. But more than likely, you're going to need private money to finish that project right now. Or, as I said earlier, it's going to be probably another couple of months before lending is back. But give me a call tomorrow. We'll talk through what your credit score is and that particular project to see if there's a solution out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a prime example of a JV deal right there. You got the property already owned, free and clear. You just need somebody to partner with you to give you the funds to fix the property up. You know, like I said, every single property that I'm fixing up, I already pretty much got contracts on these properties already. So it's people out here still buying. Or you could pretty much, if you wanted to, wholesale that property. Well, not wholesale it because you own the property. You could sell that property in its current condition. I'm sure as investors that's looking for properties. So you got options. And that's the thing that I love about real estate. It's just not one-sided. You have options. And that's what it's all about. So, and the thing is, that's why I teach the 70%. You know, you just look at a lot of people that purchase properties at 90% of the ARV, 80% of the ARV. You know, the market goes down, even though the market has not, the values are stabilized. But if the market does go down a little bit, you know, we're 30%. We got 30% still that cushion in there. So, you know, that's you know, you got options right now. So just explore all the options.
And then
So maybe you was gonna use that property, which I don't even know. Were you gonna use it for buy and hold? Were you gonna fix and flip? You know, so but whatever you were going to do, you bought that property. I'm assuming, because you said I did what Jemal said, so I'm assuming you bought it at 70%. So as long as you bought it in that guidelines, then the numbers still will work because the market has not changed.
Yeah.
So Mark, can you do your number one more time? And Juan Lopez, that was in response to your question. So
773-858-8320.
Perfect. Curtis Wilson is asking, is Jemal investing out of state?
Jemal is going to start investing out of state, but right now I've been looking, and April herself we've been looking at properties, and truthfully nothing has really shown. It's been some other states that'll give us equal to what we get right here in Chicago, and so it's just like I might as well just keep investing here, you know, for right now. But we are going to eventually, I'm looking to start growing my portfolio a little bit more in the near future, because I know like so let me tell you guys, when you look at these huge buildings out here, like these 30-unit buildings, 40, 60-unit buildings, a lot of these buildings were owned by baby boomers, right? They were owned by the older generation. And you get a lot of baby boomers right now, which was the largest generation, I guess, around. It was more of them than any generation in recent history. And now a lot of them that own all of these huge multi-unit buildings, now they're either passing away, they're either paying off, just going ahead, walking away from the buildings, or selling these properties because, some of them didn't have children, or some of them have children, they're just not interested in real estate. And so we're noticing that there's a lot of these multi-unit huge buildings, and they're being sold for cheap. So right now, all I'm doing is fixing and flipping, and I'm building up my cash reserve so I can go in and leverage my cash and purchase these 60, 80 unit buildings that's out here. And in Cleveland, in St. Louis, in Chicago, in Michigan, so in Philadelphia, so all over. So, but right now, I just want to come and hit the market with, like $10 million of cash, and just really leverage my cash to get these large properties.
So Jemal will be coming to a city near you. What's next? No, there's two more. Any referrals for a HELOC? This is from Shonda. She said, our mortgage lender doesn't do them.
Probably Natasha, right?
Where's she located?
This is Shonda. So she's located in Chicago.
In Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, check with Natasha, or have her give me a call. I don't know who she banks with. Usually your banking institution is probably the best source. Right now with COVID, you might have to shop around a little bit, because I was actually talking with someone in the group who was just about to close on a HELOC pre-COVID and actually got sick. When he came out of it, the bank said, nope, the market is too uncertain right now. So, but I'd say start with your bank, local bank that you bank with, and see what they're offering.
Okay, let's see, guys. Oh, guys, I'm not seeing questions, so that means that.
Let's go.
Scroll. I think that's it.
Perfect. Well, hey, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in for Real Talk.
I just wanted to reiterate real quick to the group that, hey, I'm here as a resource for you from a lending standpoint for anything. So you can give me a call. Don't preface it by saying, I know you're busy. I'm not too busy. If we need to, text me. So let's set up a call. but give me a call. I'm here to provide some guidance for you, no matter what you're trying to do. And I have the time to do that. I post my projects that I'm walking through with some of my investors that I'm working with locally. If you're following that, or if you're not following me on IG, follow me on my Instagram, Mark Buford, the funder, and look at those projects. You can email me there, message me there, and I'll be sure to reach out to you so we can get you on your road to get into your first project. So I appreciate the time. Thank you for me on, Jemal, and making real estate real has been a gift and a pleasure for me. So I appreciate it.
Hey, that's, man, great, man. We appreciate having you on, bro, and the information that you provide, man, and just the value that you provide, you know, is great. And man, everybody that's out there, y'all stay encouraged. We're real estate investors. You know, this is our time right now. We don't buy when the market is high. You know, we buy when it's low. And so, and this is what it's all about right now. So, you know, we're visionaries. So, man, I just wanted to get on here, man, and keep you guys encouraged, keep you guys enthused, and let you know that, you know, it's just the beginning, man. So, you know, go back, study, go back and come up with your plan, go back and make the adjustments. And, you know, we're going to be back on here again. I don't know who I'm going to have on here next, but I definitely will tell you, do another announcement. But, man, y'all got any questions, put them in a Facebook group. But let's just keep going. Let's keep going. This is all part of it, man. We in this together. Generational wealth is needed more than ever. Needed more than ever. Everything that we all went over is showing itself in the world. We can't depend on them. It's only us.
Right.
So, man, you guys, man, let's keep going. Let's keep encouraging each other. And, man, let's go take over the world, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Make real estate real.
All right. Take care, bro.
All right, now.
All right. Thanks, Tay. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Tay.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Take care.